We'll be live to Newcastle as they close in on at least one new signing. And will he, won't he? We'll get the very latest on Alexander Isak and ask if he's now more likely to stay in the North.
Liverpool now on a Slot's new side, beaten on penalties at Wembley. Virgil van Dijk admits there's a lot of work to do if they want to retain their title.
We need a couple of things that we have to improve as a team if we want to retain the title, what will be obviously a very big job in itself. So we have a recovery day tomorrow, and then we fully focus on Bournemouth, what will be a very tough game, but I'm really looking forward to the start of the Premier League.
Right, OK, so Van Dijk with more interesting comments, Charlie, because he actually suggested that Liverpool could do with another striker, which of course prompts more Isak speculation. Let's say that Isak does go to Liverpool. I mean, just how strong will they be?
Oh, they're very strong. So at the top end of the pitch, I mean, they'll be very strong. But ultimately, the way I look at the moment, they're strong now. If he comes in, then they'll really take to another level, because that's the type of player he is. But I think you need to look in the defensive area. You need another centre half, because Conte's only got 1 year left. And they don't want to go through the scenario that they had to with Van Dijk and Salah last year. Not at all.
Alexander Arnold, who ended up going.
Exactly. But Konate's number one to Verge, isn't he? Next to him is his partner. You can't imagine him. You wouldn't want to leave him on a free. He goes on a free. That's the problem. So you only allow him to leave on a free if you've got someone that's replacing, but he's in already for the year, and that's why I think the speculations come out with Mark Gay.
Yeah, and of course, Joe Gomez is a brilliant player, but has been injured quite a lot. So do you think that, because Jamie Carragher had some good quotes last week saying, yes, he does want Liverpool to sign Isak, but he thinks it's a heck of a lot of money. And also, again, like you're saying, at the back, that's somewhere they need to strengthen too. If it was one or the other, I'm not saying that it is, but if it was one or the other, would you prioritise centre-back rather than Isak?
After yesterday, I'd say centre-half, yeah. After yesterday, so much quality at the top end of the pitch. Verts was brilliant, little pockets that he picks up a space, moves the ball really well. A lot of the game went through him. And Ekitike showed his quality, not only scoring the goal, because the goal was brilliant, first touch, etc., but his hold-up play was superb. Little flicks around the corner, bringing the defender in, little up, back and through. He was superb, and as watching as a centre-forward, I thought he was phenomenal yesterday, yeah.
How impressed have you been with Liverpool's transfer business, though? Because they won the league, and sometimes you can probably understand an owner saying, well, we won the league, we don't need to do that much. But Milos Kerkez has come in, Florian Wirtz, who you've mentioned, Jeremy Frimpong has come in. Now, Mohamed Ashbili, that was actually done last year, but he's come in, so that money's gone out of the account. But Hugo Ekitike as well, who you've mentioned too. So they've won the league, and then they've gone out and done that.
I think you can't argue the business. The business they've done has been fantastic, right? And they've won the league, yes. They won the league. The other teams obviously couldn't catch them, but also they was winning continuous. Their form was so good that even when they drop points, they ended up going and win 5 or 6 games on the bounce. However, they've won the league, and instead of just rest on their laurels, they've gone, right, we're gonna add to this team. Arne Slot said, OK, we'll go through the year and not add no one in, and they was phenomenal, right? Probably didn't think they'd win the league, and not the way they did. But this time, they've added the firepower in areas that Liverpool needed. Lost Trent, Jeremy Frimpong come in. Andy Robertson's getting older, bringing Kerkez. Now that's a straight swap. Andy Robertson's not giving up his position, is he? Let's be honest. Florian Wirtz has come in. He was the wow factor, the wow signing. And I've got to be honest, nobody thought that Ekitike was coming to Liverpool, because everyone thought he was going to Newcastle. But then there's the power. As soon as Liverpool come in, Ekitike, eyes opened, and next minute he signed for Liverpool. I think they've done fantastic business.
Well, we should mention it. Business is two-way, isn't it? Darwin Núñez, 56.6 million. Trent Alexander-Arnold, OK. They did end up getting £10 million from him, didn't they, in the end? Kevin Kelleher, 18 million. Jarell Quansah for 35 million. Luis Diaz was, of course, 6 million. Tyler Morton, they got £15 million from Lyon for him, as well as another £3 million for Nat Phillips as well. Does it annoy you when you sometimes see or hear people talk about how much a club has spent without taking into account what they've recouped?
But I think it's almost along that bit. No one really wants to talk about that bit, because everyone goes, oh, their transfer business, look at the players they're bringing in, etc. Yeah, that's fine, but look at the players they've moved out of the door and the money they've brought in. So it's allowed them to spend the money they have and attract the players. They attract the players because of how well they've done on the pitch last season. There's no getting away from that. But the business they've done of the players going out, they've got some serious money in.
Well, let's bring in a Liverpool fan then. Peter Bolster is going to talk to us now. Peter, I believe you're joining us live from Greece as well, so we very much appreciate your time. You could be out there in the sun, but I do want to just remind you of your prediction yesterday. I'm told that you said that Liverpool would win 5-1, and of course Crystal Palace won on penalties. How worried are you with what you saw?
I'm not very worried, to be honest with you. It wasn't a very good display from Liverpool, to be honest with you. But I've watched Liverpool's attacking talents throughout pre-season, so that's why I went a bit bold. If you're going to go bold, you go early, don't you? And it's not the biggest thing riding on it, to be honest with you.
Well, there's a lot riding on Alexander Isak, isn't there? He's not a Liverpool player yet, and I know that Liverpool are obviously in for him. But we've been asking, Charlie and I have been talking about maybe Liverpool's need to bring in a centre-back as well. What do you think?
Yeah, definitely. But I think very much the conversation is going to be about signing a centre-half, because Liverpool have been short. And we have been caught short a few seasons ago, and everyone remembers that season where Virgil van Dijk got an injury, Joe Matip, and obviously Joe Gomez. We started with 3 centre-halves, and all 3 of them were out injured, and we ended up with Nat Phillips playing there. So obviously people are going to point to that, and there was some defensive mishaps yesterday. But really yesterday as well, there was a real problem with the attacking elements of Liverpool, because he was playing very well in that first half. But what was brilliant about Liverpool last season was when it wasn't going quite right, or when you needed something different. I know we talk about we've won 2 in the last 5 years, is it? 6 years? And there was obviously that big 30-year gap, but it's actually a long time since Liverpool fans have seen Liverpool retain the title. So for my generation and many other, a couple of generations now, we've not seen that. So that would be fantastic, wouldn't it, if we could do that? But I would be disappointed. It's the most confident and content I've ever been as a Liverpool fan going into a season. That doesn't win you anything. I would be disappointed, but nothing is guaranteed in football. Nothing's guaranteed in life, is it? So you don't win the Premier League in August. You have to do that in the coming months. But no, it's an exciting time being a Liverpool fan. Yeah,
Charlie, I did just pick out that Peter said that if Isak comes in, you can't just aim for the Premier League, or aim for the Champions League as well. Quite as simple as that, of course.
No, it's not, but it certainly puts you right up there in the conversation, don't it? Let's be honest, that is almost like the cherry on the cake. But I, again, agree with what he's saying. It's great business, but if you don't get in a centre-half, then you almost leave the door ajar, and Liverpool don't want to do that. One thing that's not been said a lot, and Peter still there, and that is how Mo Salah played yesterday. It wasn't his best game. Yes, we know how good he has been since he signed, and over the years he scores goals, etc. And last year, when the games weren't going right for Liverpool, Mo Salah would pop up for a little bit of magic, and Liverpool would win the game. But yesterday, for me, it looked like he was out on the wing, and he just wasn't involved. And Ferran Wirtz was going more over into left-sided pocket more, and nowhere near him. I'd like to see them two link up a bit more. So I know it's early doors. It is a charity shield. Like I said yesterday, for me, I see the game a little bit more, because I thought it was more than the boring that it has been over the years. But for me, yesterday, I was disappointed in Salah. Yeah.
Well, Peter, you don't very often hear somebody criticising Mo Salah. What do you think to that?
No, I think it's warranted. I think yesterday he was pretty poor, even down to his penalty miss at the end. And I think what was very disappointing about his penalty miss, he'd done exactly the same thing the week before. But if you have watched him in pre-season, as I have, he's been absolutely sensational. He looks very sharp, very ready for the season. I think yesterday was just a bit of